Let's make my Scrappy Fables quilt pattern using layer cakes. Layer cakes are 10-inch squares, and for this pattern you will need 42 10-inch squares, yielding a 54-inch by 63-inch quilt. Using 63 10-inch squares will yield a twin-size quilt measuring 63 inches by 81 inches, giving you a few more options. So let's get started. For the throw size quilt, select 18 10-inch squares and trim them down to 5-inch squares. For the twin size quilt, select 28 10-inch squares and trim them down to 5-inch squares. But with your remaining 10-inch squares, you will then square them to a 9.5-inch square, and that's it. Today's pattern is very simple and very quick to make. Then once everything is cut, it is time to create your quilt block. Using your 5-inch squares, you will select 4 mixed prints and create a Scrappy 4-patch block. Sew your blocks together to form a row, and then sew your row together to complete a 9.5-inch square. For the throw size quilt, make a total of 18 Scrappy 4-patch blocks. And for the twin size quilt, make a total of 28 Scrappy 4-patch blocks. Once all of your blocks are made, it is time to lay your quilt out in a 6x7 block layout or a 7x9 block layout for the twin size quilt. For your odd rows, you will use your print 9.5-inch squares. Then for your even rows, you will use your Scrappy 4-patch blocks. Then as always, sew your blocks together to form rows, and lastly, sew your rows together to complete your quilt top. Here is what my Scrappy Fables quilt pattern looks like all finished. For the backing, I am using a matching print from within the collection. Then I'm going with glide threads in the color Cantaloupe for my thread choice. And do stay to the end to see a full photo since this quilt comes out pretty large. And here is what my quilt looks like all quilted. Once again, one layer cake will yield a 54-inch by 63-inch quilt. Using 63 10-inch squares will yield a twin-size quilt measuring 63 inches by 81 inches, giving you a few more options. But if you could, please take a moment to hit that like and subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can be notified for your next amazing quilt project.